Hi, everybody. I am Beckie Belote. I am a creative memories advisor in Newport News, Virginia. And I have a variety of things I want to show you today. So I just want to make sure, depending on when you're watching this, right now on Creative Memories at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today. Today is Monday, the 30th of May. And they're doing this thing that if you spend $90, you get a free border maker cartridge, and there's two exclusive ones. And if you all know us, we typically never re-release exclusive things. So it's really the only way you can get this. So I thought today would be a great day to show you what you didn't know that you needed. All right. So I'm going to show a little bit about recipe templates because there's a really good bargain with that one too. That if you get the new, it's called Argyle, which I love it. I love our templates that have straight cuts or our circle and oval cutter can make them really faster for us. So this Argyle one, I think you're going to love. If you get that one, you get to pick another one for free. So that makes it really cost effective. So I'm going to show you a little bit on recipe templates. I'm going to show you some page spreads with the new destination line. I know the Florida paper sold out. I told you that it would, but they're coming back with it. So they don't always do that. So I am really grateful that they saw a need to bring back Florida. Florida is a big state, and I know you all travel there all the time. So we need Florida. And then I'm going to show you two page spreads. One that is super crazy pretty using the music notes. And then the other one is just a really simple one that you can use with any of your product lines. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so first of all, last week I showed you, yeah, last week I showed you the beautiful destinations collection. So it was Great Lakes, Florida, New York, and Washington, D.C. So what I wanted to do is show you a page spread from each of those collections. I got 3 double page spreads from each of those collections, and each of those collections are only $8. So for $8, you get 3 beautiful double page spreads. So I hope you like this one. This is with the great links. This is the back. This is the front of the pieces of paper. So I just cut out a hole, flipped it over, and you got a really quick page. I love the decorations. We here in Virginia live very close to Virginia Beach, of course. Virginia Beach is in our state, and we go to the Outer Banks. It's very close to our state. Lots of places, Maryland is close to our state. So we see a lot of this kind of stuff. And I don't know if you do too, but boy, this is pretty. I love the wispy chain here. This is a border maker cartridge, and it can be used for a lot of things, but I like it for water. Okay, so let me get a place to put this. All right. This one I made with the Florida line. And again, don't freak out. They said this one is coming back in June. And June isn't just a couple of days. I don't know how fast in June, but hopefully it'll be here in time for your vacation pictures. I paired this print that I have down here has little shells all over it. I love the colors in this line, super pretty. This has just got some more shells, beach hair, don't care. I paired it with the Monstera leaf border punch. This is one of my faves for vacation, for tropical botanical. Probably some of your yards have those in them. So anyways, that's a must have. All right, so that was Florida. Here's New York. This is a really fast page layout. This purple piece of paper was one piece of paper, and I just cut off a little bit. I cut off the New York City emblem and just put that on one side, the rest of it on the other side to get a double page spread out of that one piece of paper. One thing you need to know about this beautiful line is that if you have the Showtime line, your stickers and embellishments are going to color coordinate in your mats. In fact, these were embellishments from the Showtime line. Look how nicely they go here. And of course, these were stickers that I added to the page. Really easy page spread. All right. So I'm getting ready to show you a DC one, but before I do, I'm going to show you, actually, I'll go ahead and show it to you. This is one with the DC line. And what I did on this one is what I'm getting ready to show you. I'm going to use Painted Garden to duplicate an idea similar to this. Crazy simple idea. You need 2 matching pieces of paper to do it. So go grab those while you're watching. I did use the wavy blade with my trimmer. So if you don't have this trimmer, this is a good day to get our trimmer and maybe a couple of your favorite blades. But this is called the wave. Um, I made my own mat here. I don't know if you can see them, but I have perforated it so that I have lines. So when I go to journal, I can write nice and straight. So that perforated blade is another one that you can add on to your trimmer. All right. And then I use this border right here and this border right here. These are laser borders from the US of Yay laser pack. All right. There are 10 in a pack. If you want to do this spread where I've used 2 of the same one, you're probably going to want to grab 2 packs, but they're crazy pretty. You're going to see a lot with that. Okay. So this is the page I'm going to show you how to do. Very simple, very fast. You know, that's my game. I do things uh, fast and simple. All right. So let's see here. This one has a vertical stripe. So whenever you have a pattern, when you get ready to do a cutting on them, if you do cutting at one time, make sure you stack them the way you want them. I am not cutting these at the same time though. That doesn't matter right now, but typically it does. So I thought I would point that out since I was getting ready to do a little cut. Actually it does matter, but not like it usually does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this on my mat. If you don't have one of our mats, I do like these. I actually like to work with 2. I duct tape them together. And then when I'm ready to pack up, I just grab it here and it just packs right back up in my bag. But I like to work on 2. I use my board for measuring. So if you don't have that, grab it. All right, so I'm going to throw this down. I'm going to grab a pen of some sort. Doesn't matter. Actually, I see wow. Guess I'm gonna have to go into my, okay, this is just a pen tent. All right. All right. So it doesn't really matter. Actually, I'm going to cut this one on this side. It doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter, what you're cutting. It doesn't matter where you're cutting from. On the one that I did, the US, the Washington DC one that you just saw, I did not a 9-inch triangle. So what I did is I went 3 inches from each side and put a dot and cut this way. All right, but what's important, it doesn't matter whether you do a 9-inch triangle, an 8-inch triangle, a 6-inch triangle, a 4-inch triangle. What matters is that whatever amount that you go up on this side, you do the same. All right, so I'm going to cut this corner off just to be different this time. And I think I'm going to do 5 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so it's very important that I do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I am a little nervous that I haven't been paying attention. It's not right smack in the middle. And this really matters. All right, so I'm gonna do that and I'm going to redot it because now you can see it really wasn't at the right place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, and then I'm going to cut that off. Swear it doesn't look the same. 1, 2, 3. But it is. All right, so now I'm going to cut from dot to dot, picking the proper dot since I screwed up my first dot. And we're going to put the dot in question in our little groove. This doesn't matter because my pattern is going to be up. This pattern is going to be up. This is going to be down. So this little mark here is not going to be that big a deal, but I also want to make sure that I cut all of my ink off of my pattern piece. If you're in doubt, we have these little sliders to make sure it's going where you intended it to go. My trimmer is upside down. I was like, why isn't it working? Oh my goodness. Thank you for putting up with my nonsense. I was like, why isn't it working? All right, we'll try that again. All right, so, oh yeah, now I can see that it is cutting off all of that ink. All right, and what I have done is now, because it's perfectly symmetrical, that will go back in the hole very nicely. So now what I want to do is to pull it all together. I want to cut a little bit off of this side, but differently. I'm not going to do a corner. You could, but I'm not. I'm just going to do another cut. I think I did about a 1.5 earlier. So I'm going to do, I might do a 2. I'm going to do a 2. Doesn't matter though, right? Doesn't matter. Trust me on this. All right. And so then I'm going to put this down. Like when I do my double page spread, you can see how it's going to be a beautiful expanse of yellow. We're going to throw this down, and now these kind of tie each other together. Okay. Let me go ahead and throw this down on some white cardstock. And then we'll add a little bit more prettiness to it. So on the Washington, D.C. one, if you were watching earlier, I used pre-cut laser borders. That would be really pretty with this too, if you have some that match nicely. But I also wanted to let you know, if you don't have them, you can use your tools as well. So for instance, your border maker cartridge, if you had a pretty border maker cartridge that, like Painted Garden is kind of a springy line. So something springy, you have all kinds of really pretty ones that would work with that. So if I hadn't have paid attention when I laid down my papers, you see how this is a vertical stripe? If I hadn't paid attention, it is possible that this would be a vertical and this would be a horizontal. So if you don't like that, pay attention to the way you lay your papers out. All right, so I'm just gonna throw some borders on there. And I'm gonna use I think I want to use this piece of paper. And the board, this is the leafy vine. You probably have this one. You do your first cut at that black mark there. And then after you do your first cut, you line up the pretty vine to the stencil that's underneath, the pattern that's underneath, so that you don't see any blue. You're going to need 2 of these, guys. All right. So this one I'm going to put here, and you can put it on the edge, or you can put it in the middle. It's kind of up to you. I'm going to put it on the edge, I think, or I don't know. We'll see what I feel when I go to blow it down, right? Actually, I meant to do the other side. All right, this is Repo. I meant to put this adhesive on the other side because I want the darker green to poke up. Because it's repositionable tape, if you haven't experienced Repo, you should get some because it just rubs off if you make an error like this. If you would use any other kind of adhesive or glue, you would be cutting yourself another one of these because it would mess it up. But I tend to like to make mistakes for you guys. I think it makes you like me more. So I'm just kidding. I really don't try to make mistakes. That was not staged. That was just me in action. I think I'm going to kind of do a little bit of both. I'm going to kind of not put it right on the seam. I'm going to put it kind of there. All right, I like that. All right. And then you would need another one for over here to tie it all together. So I'm going to do, I don't really need the whole piece. So I probably won't do the whole piece. I'm probably just going to do a few to get it. This is not the same piece of paper. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is Tuesday. In fact, I can't even believe that I am here today because it feels like Monday and I really just kind of popped into my mind that today was actually Tuesday and I better hurry up and do an idea. All right. So we don't need all of this. Oh, we actually do need all of that. Grab my scissors, snip it off. All right. And I'm going to throw my adhesive this time on the proper side. All right. And then I'm going to throw it on here to pull that all together. Is that super cute? Super easy. All right. So, another thing that I don't know if you all got the lemon or not. The lemon is really kind of cool. If you do 5 of them, I know I've told you all this before, but I might have some new viewers. I'm gonna give you some ideas of things that you don't have in your stash that can be very user. So this could be a lemon, this could be a lime, but it also could be a really pretty flower. And if I'm going to use it as a flower, I kind of like to rough them up some. So just kind of rough them up. I love also that our paper is double-sided, don't you? Like, that could be a lime or it could be a flower petal. It could be either one. And in this case, it is going to be a flower petal. And you can cut those little things off or not. They kind of just blend in, actually. Do I want it up there? I hope so. I hope it'll look nice up there. And we're going to do 5 of them. The roughing it up gives it some dimension. You can also throw some pop-up squares underneath them if you want to. And again, the repo is nice to resituate when it's not exactly the way I want it. All right, do you like that? Then if you have any of those little gemstones left over from any of your, I love these little things, by the way. You can get these 2 for like $9, or you can get them in a nice little case like I'm working out of right now. So that's something. If you don't have that yet, that would be nice. How about if we just put a yellow middle on it? All right. Another thing that is a ticking bomb. In other words, it is a product that I love that I don't use all the time, but it's great for the spring when at least in our area, we have a lot of trees and flowering plants in Virginia. So we have bumblebees, and we are really grateful for the bumblebees, aren't we? Our little pollinators. And so we have a punch called the Bumblebee, really old. I can't believe it's going to be around much longer, but if you don't have this, this would be something you might want to add to your cart today. All right, so let's make a bumblebee. So somebody at my crop the other day, Cheryl, my friend Cheryl, she said, I don't know how to make a 2-tone bumblebee. And so I thought to myself that maybe some of you didn't know how to do that either. So I'm going to do a black one. And then I'm going to do a gold one. Oh my gosh. This page, though, you guys, we already have the gold. So we really could get away with not even doing the gold. But I'm going to still show you how to do it anyways. So do the 2 colors that you want. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with the canary yellow. You need to save your pieces. You need all of your pieces that just came out of that yellow one to do this. I'm going to go ahead and put this bumble up here, kind of partially on the flower. And then, you know what? I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do one with a metallic color. And the reason for that is the little bumblebees, the little, oh, and this precision point adhesive, do you all use this for little tiny things like this? I love the precision point. And now I'm going to pop his wings in those holes. And they'll, the wings on insects are kind of translucent, right? So that's kind of mimicking that. And then I'm going to, oops, I didn't put that all the way in. And then what I'm going to do is put little bits of adhesive in these little holes in the little bumble. And then I'm going to put these things back in. Yes, I just licked my finger. I did, true story. Because that tends to pick them up nicely. I know some of you are geniuses with another great tool called the multi-purpose tool. And if you are a genius with that, go ahead and use that for this. And you don't have to lick your fingers probably. All right, don't y'all remember during COVID, we were all so paranoid about licking stuff? I am a big licker. I was always trying to wash my hands. All right, so is that the cutest little bumblebee you've ever seen? And then if you want to grab, let's see if I can get to my pens and my little case here. If you want to grab one of your pens, I'm looking for the micro tip ones. Then you can do kind of a little spirally from his hiney to give it that movement. That looks super cool. All right. Is that cool? All right. So those were several things, and I hope that you like that simple page spread. And I am going to pull back out now that you've seen this one. I'm going to pull back out this one, which is different, but the same. Because in this case, I had a much bigger triangle. So I just wanted to let you see that you can have some variety. I wanted my Washington, D.C. emblem from this piece of paper to show up here, but I didn't necessarily want it on this side. So it was a great way to get what I wanted on the page and then accent other pieces. Okay, so I hope you like this idea. This was Painted Garden. If you don't have that collection, really pretty for the spring. All right, so I wanted to show you one more idea. And this idea, you're going to really be crazy in love with. You are going to need a piece of, actually 2 pieces of cardstock if you want to do a double page spread, or just one if you want it to be a title page. And this is using your music note. Now, we do have border punches that are frame punches, and those have little marks out here. This one doesn't have that. However, if you want to use this skill, we are going to pretend like it does, and we're going to choose a mark kind of out here some. Let me grab, I'm going to do something really risky. I'm going to put a little mark out here to kind of give you an idea about where I want you to go. So it's not closer in like our typical ones are, and it's not in the middle. It's a little bit further out where I want you to line it up at. Okay, so kind of guesstimate. If it's not perfect, this is still going to work for you. Do use cardstock. And if you don't use cardstock, take your 2 pieces of paper, lay them down, fold them together before you do this skill so that you punch the right side, the proper sides. All right, you need to punch 3 out of 4 sides on this. All right, so I'm going to line it up to where I said that little mark down there. I'm going to go down, and I'm not going to go all the way to the end. I'm going to stop just short of the end, like we would with any other frame punch, okay? So I'm going to stop there because I still see paper there. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to line this up again right to that mark. I'm looking, it's almost, it's not quite half of an inch from the end. It's a little less than that in case you're trying to measure at home. All right, and we're going to do that again where we're going to go all the way down, but not, let's see, not to the end, not all the way to the end. We're doing 3 out of 4 sides. If you are doing a title page, you're going to want to go all the way around. Okay, but I'm going to show you the look that I am showing you Every once in a while, go ahead and get rid of your scraps so you don't get a tangle. I don't recommend doing two pieces of cardstock at the same time either. You know, I like to do things fast, but I probably wouldn't do that with this. All right, so what you have when you stick this down now on a contrasting color is this. Is that super crazy pretty? And you can do some kind of embellishments here, you know, in the other little spaces. But I just thought this was super pretty for your symphony that you go to see, your band, your child in the band, that your flag girls in the band, your anything musical. I just thought this would be a beautiful. And again, if you had kept going around, you would have had it look more like this. Kinda. I can't really duplicate that without cutting it off, but you could keep going around and getting the fourth side. Is that cool? All right. So before I take off, those were the two simple double page spreads I wanted to show you how to do. This is a new one. This is the music staff and notes, I think. All right. But I told you that you spend 90, you get a free border maker cartridge. But there's also another promotion that if you buy the new Argyle, which I don't have because I can't even order it today until 1 o'clock. But if you get the Argyle today for $15, you can get a second one, and there's lots to pick from, like 12 of them to pick from. You can pick one for free. So great deal. This is called Tropic Time. And a lot of times people see these and they think, oh my gosh, that would take forever to do a page with that. And what I just want to encourage you on is that you don't have to do everything on every page. This is designed to be able to do about 100 different looks beautifully on your page. So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. So I did a couple of pages with this. This is Mermaid Cove. And all I did for this one is I used this border right here. I took my pencil and I just traced all the way around, and then I came and got my little tiny scissors. On this one, it's best to have our more these are the ones that we use when we have intricate cuts, and then I just cut it out. And you're saying to yourself, I can't cut like that. You can. Just be really careful. And I just cut all the way around the paper. After I did that, I cut it in half. And then what I got was just this border here, that you could pop on top of a piece of paper. Actually, you know what I did? This is the front and back of a piece of paper. So this is even more genius than I thought. I had this piece of paper, this pretty color, and I did it all the way around, cut it all around, and then I flipped it over and then cut it in half. So this is half, front, back, front, back. All right, super pretty, super easy. All right, another idea with that same template. These are simple sleeves, by the way. Ooh, tab is coming off. And we also have tabs that you can tab them so that you know what you're putting in them. All right, so here's another one that I did. And let's see, what did I did? I think it goes like this. All right, and now let's look at this template again. All right, so on this template, this one, I did a number of things actually. Keep in mind, you can also cut things like, for instance, this and this are exactly the same piece. So once I traced this piece, I could roll it over and cut two at one time. All right. This piece and this piece are the same piece. All right. So I got that from here. So what I'm trying to say is you take chunks, make it as easy or as hard as you want to. This triangle right here, I just used this to make the perfect triangle and didn't even do the waves. I did a straight cut. Bam, 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 bam. A trapezoid is what I should say. This is a trapezoid. All right. So that one and that one I could have cut at the same time. All right. Or you could stack your two pieces of paper. and cut them that way at the same time. All right. So anyways, not as hard as it looks. Don't feel like you have to do every component on a template. So this one is called Tropic Time, if you like this one. All right. So I have some more to show you, and then we'll be done. You already know how to do these recipe templates, and you probably don't need me at all for this. But I know some people never seen them before, and now is a great time to try them. All right, so we have this one. This one is called Sunrise Sunset, and it does these beautiful sunrises for your vacations and stuff like that, water trips, whatever. However, it also has this little interesting component down here that you can do all together like they did here or not. In this case, I used, this is my stack of pages from Showtime. And I did just this part of it. All right, so this is a journal box. Could have put a photo in there, right? This is just an embellishment. And I used just the corner piece down here to get that look. And again, this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and all four of those are all the same. So I could have actually traced one, folded my paper several times, and cut them at the same time. All right, so I just wanted to remind you about that. On nice long cuts, you can use these scissors. They'll work faster and give you a nice fast cut. All right, you can also use for your circle here. We have a pattern in our circle cutter that does that exact circle. So it's just a matter of giving you some ideas of how to put shapes together. All right, so that is that one. All right, I want to give you one more example, because sometimes I use my templates just to get shapes that would be difficult to do otherwise. So take a look at this beautiful page. This was from our Christmas collection from last year. And these were just some really big leaves in the top to kind of mimic poinsettia. All right. And where did I get those from? From this one. This is the, I think it's called Mirrored Ovals. And so I didn't do any ovals with this, but I did use these as petals. So again, I put it down on my red cardstock. I traced one, I folded the cardstock several times, and I cut several at one time. Then when I got ready to put it down, I used this so that I could put adhesive in the hole and then put those back in quickly on the piece of paper. So you can also use it to line up, where you're putting things back on your page. All right. So anyways, I hope that makes sense to you. It's not something I do on every page. Every time I do one, I always think it's worth my while. So that is all that I have for you today, guys, and girls. Thank you so much for checking it out. And I hope you have a great time shopping today. The new product release happens at 1 o'clock. If you are one of my clients and you need me to order for you, please get me your orders as soon as possible, because I will be putting an order in right at 1 o'clock. If you have another advisor, I know they would love to help you too. So anyways, thank you so much. You all have an incredible week. Bye. Oh.